accuse opposition parties of being sponsored by the West when they are also being sponsored by the East. What do we say about the level of this hypocrisy? These are some of the things that an ordinary citizen is not able to say. And as a man of God, I am not a political analyst. I'm speaking these things because the duty of a prophet is not just to tell you what shall happen. Sometimes I have to enlighten you on how things are going to happen, yes, to broaden your judgment, as it were, and your sense and your understanding. Very, very dangerous. But there's other bigger problems. The first problem is that, like I told you some few weeks ago, the government has acquired a dangerous set of equipment from Israel, from a company called Secos. This company specializes in inventing, manufacturing, and selling spy equipment. It is one of the best Middle Eastern companies at these technological gadgets. Our government is now able to listen to your calls without needing to go through to your telecommunication service provider. Before, they used to intercept calls because every telecommunications service provider is instructed by the Act, is also regulated by POTRAs, that they will be able to follow up to make sure that they can use those communications to do investigations for this, for justice purposes, to prosecute criminals and so forth. But they would need to go and install the equipment so that they can have a connectivity with the telecommunication service provider. The new equipment they have now, they don't need Econet, Tel1 or Telecel to listen to your calls. They will listen to your calls without communicating with Econet. It's a very, very dangerous equipment, and almost all dictatorships have acquired this kind of equipment. You must remember, one of the countries that have acquired this equipment is Belarus, which is also a dictatorship, and other despotic regimes. And this equipment I'm talking about, it is handed over to this vampire so that they can hunt for the targeted political opponents and eliminate them. On top of that, they have also acquired a certain chemical, very, very dangerous. Instead of poisoning your food so that you die tomorrow, they have now laid on their hands to a chemical that can kill you 3 months after the day of your poisoning. And once you die, the pathological examinations are never going to be, if they are standard equipment, they are not going to be able to tell that this person did not die of a natural disease, because this chemical is an agent that attacks different parts of your body. They attack your nervous system, they attack your lungs, they attack your heart. Others are going to die of heart attack, others are going to die of so-called cancer. Suddenly, you are going to hear that you are diagnosed of cancer. It is because of this chemical. And why this is dangerous? It is because for the first time, they are going to be able to kill someone without touching him, because they can shoot a dart and then you are going to be pinged with a small granule that contains this poison, and you are going to feel like it's just a sting from a bee or something that is less painful. And you are going to forget about it, and you are going to live as normal. 3-4 months later, you are going to be sick, and in a few days, you are going to die, and nobody is going to suspect them. This is a dangerous chemical. This is a dangerous capacity. I want to ask this question: why is our government investing so much money in acquiring things that hurt its own citizens? Why can't they use that money to improve building proper roads? Not these ill-constructed roads, which can't even last a year. The roads that Mr. Mnangagwa is building, they are substandard roads. All of them. If we are given a chance to have proper leaders, we are going to start afresh to building those roads. Why can't he use that money instead of acquiring chemicals to kill opponents? Why can't he supply medicines to hospitals? It's very dangerous. The Zimbabwean politicians are in a friendship with a dangerous country. I don't want to release the details. Our government has become too close to a very dangerous government that is very notorious for manufacturing nerve agents that kill political or perceived political opponents from a distance. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good. They are going to hire and recruit what they call intelligence assets, people who are basically handled by intelligence operatives, and they are paid few dollars to carry out clandestine intelligence and military operations. They are going to recruit waiters and cooks from upmarket restaurants where political elite opposition members go and eat from. And you are going to walk into a restaurant and order food. And those people are going to have a list of targets. Whenever a politician enters their restaurant, they check on their list. If they see you are there, they poison you in your food. You don't suffer that day. You don't get sick that day. You are going to be fined for 3, 4, 5 months. And then you get sick. Within 2 months, you are dead. And this is what I said, why I said there is a dark cloud. And I was talking to some few people yesterday, and I said there's a dark cloud hovering above us. And we need to pray for people who are instrumental in crying out for a change of things in our country, people who are asking the government to behave responsibly, people who are advocating for the preservation of life in Zimbabwe, political activists, journalists, and civic society activists. I want us to pray for them because we are likely going to lose one of the most instrumental persons in our country through these tactics and weird and very, very wicked strategies which they are using now. My advice to the so-called politicians, especially from the opposition, they should minimize their exposure to the public. They must reduce their frequency to go and eat from restaurants, especially in Zimbabwe. Because if you're on the target list, you are never going to know that you have been poisoned. And you are going to be said to have died of a natural cause. And for the first time, people are never going to suspect ZANU-PF. The doctors are going to write, he died of pneumonia. He died of cardiac arrest. But what causes the cardiac arrest? It may be a cardiac arrest. What triggered the cardiac arrest? It's a very, very nefarious and aggressive and dangerous chemical agent acquired by the state to eliminate perceived political opponents. It's a dark cloud that is hovering over Zimbabwe right now. Let us pray that the people we are having hope on, they may last until this time next year. Let us pray that all of them, they may last until this time next year. It's a prayer that you need to make. Now, as I talk to you right now, I'm a survivor of political violence. I survived 2 assassination attempts. I have injuries on my body right now in the hands of these barbaric ZANU-PF terrorists who tried to kill me on the road. So I know that on the list of those who are going to be targeted, definitely my name is there. I don't lose sleep about it. But the reason why I'm sharing this with you, I also want you to know that as long as you are known for holding the government accountable, every death should be suspected. Every death of those who are perceived to be enemies of the state in Zimbabwe, everyone's death from this point onwards, they should be suspected. And of the deaths that need to be investigated, I am not casting aspersions, I am not pointing a blaming finger, but I want you to ask yourself, did Dewa Mavunga die a natural death? Did Alex Magaisa die a natural death? I want to ask this question. I knew Dewa Mavunga. He was a friend of mine. He was a human rights activist. He was based in London. He ran a program called Human Rights Watch. And if you go to YouTube right now, you are going to watch his videos. He interviewed women who were raped by the soldiers after the mass shooting of citizens in 2018. He interviewed people who are drinking contaminated water in Harare. He interviewed victims of political violence. He was advocating for the protection of citizens, not only in Zimbabwe, but all over Africa. Did he die a natural death? Did he actually die of COVID? Did Alex Magaisa die of a heart attack, which was caused by pre-existing medical conditions? How sure are you? Oh, he was in England, so he was safe. Pray for Africa so that they may not be too naive. As I talk to you now, people are going to be given money to fly to different countries to go and assassinate those who are using foreign lands as a safe hub from which they are recording videos on TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter criticizing the Zimbabwean government. They are going to send mercenaries flying to China, flying to Europe, flying to South Africa, flying to Botswana, to Namibia, to Kenya, hunting for the perceived political opponents. And they are going to come back and relax. And after a few weeks, we are going to hear Mr. So-and-so has died. He suffered from a natural problem. Mr. So-and-so has died. He was suffering from this disease. And everyone is going to say, it's a natural death. Death is for us, or everyone is going to die. You can't blame ZANU-PF for everyone's death. It's a dangerous situation. But in the midst of all these things that I'm saying now, you must know that God is watching and God has his own way, his own plans. I am not even sure, as I talk to you right now, whether myself I will be alive by this time next year, because there has been so many meetings held by these people, this vampire. They are trying as much as possible to to use everything in their disposal to find out where am I. Last time I shared a video, I did a public statement when they sent people down there to South Africa to try and find out if I was there. So as I talk to you now, I always know that I am not entitled to meeting with you again or to do another utterance again to speak on Zimbabwe. It may be my last speech to you. When I heard that they had mutilated More Blessing Alice's body, I could imagine that they were going to do the same if they find me. They can do the same to me. The reason why God kept me alive to this day, it is because God found it necessary to use me to speak openly and educate my fellow countrymen on some of the things that are affecting our land. The people of Zimbabwe must know that ZANU-PF has declared war on them. We are no longer at a time of peace. We are now in a time of war. But this is a strategic war. They have decided to kill us one by one, so that we may take longer to realize that it's a war. And in a war situation, you don't seek to negotiate with the enemy who is attacking you without you taking a position to fire back to defend yourself. And this is where our opposition parties are doing us a disservice and disappointing us. Mr. Chamisa's strategy is not working in Zimbabwe. It's not. It's not going to work again. This vampire I'm talking about is made up of military generals, intelligence gurus, people who are living in upmarket suburbs, driving luxurious vehicles, earning thousands of US dollars a month. Taking ZANU-PF out of power is snatching food from their mouths. They are never going to let it go without a fight. Elections are not going to work for us. My advice to them is they should stop their political activities until they sit down and find a strategy that brings them and equips them to match the enemy they are facing. The book of Luke chapter 14 has got a very graphic analysis of our Zimbabwean problem, because what we have now, we have a situation where the opposition leaders are convening rallies, asking their parties to wear, the members to wear political regalia. After the rally, Mr. Chamisa and his comrades, they go to their suburbs. They are living inside walled and gated homes. They are hiring security guards. They have installed CCTV cameras. They are armed. They have dogs. But their members, they live in Chitungwiza. They live in Budiriro. They live in Glenora. Some of them are living in homes where there is no security at all. So the murderers are coming at night, taking them, killing them. And all that we are getting is a public statement, a press statement, a press release. May his soul rest in peace. One by one, our brothers and sisters are being murdered. It is irresponsible for the opposition leaders to continue with their political activities, especially seeing that their activists, their members are killed. They are brutally murdered. They are dying in their numbers every day because of these activities. Their own wives are safe. Their own children are safe. It is our brothers and sisters, ordinary poor citizens, who are being murdered. A press statement is not going to bring back More Blessing Ali. A Twitter message from Fadzai Mahere is not going to send More Blessing Ali's children to school. This is a war. This is a serious matter. It is not student activism. This is not University of Zimbabwe Student Representative Council. This is not. This is somebody's future, somebody's livelihood. Somebody's children are not going to go to school because their father was murdered. Somebody's family is going to starve because of these politics. This is not right. It's not responsible. I am accusing our opposition political activists and leaders of practicing reckless politics that is putting their members as pawns in a political chess game, sacrificing their members so that they may appear on a press statement video dressed in expensive clothes, speaking fluent English, but with no plan to promise their members that no opposition member shall be killed again. We are going to do this to protect you. Condemning ZANU-PF is not going to intimidate ZANU-PF into stopping their murder. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. May God comfort the families of those that are bereaved. The Ali family, the Dube family, the Ngube family, who is the other one who was murdered in Zengeza? The Chinembiri family. May God comfort them. I feel for them. 3 years ago, I lost my loved ones as well in the same way. Yes. I know the feeling of that loss. I know that. May God give them comfort and give them strength to deal with the horrific loss of their loved ones. May God send them angels to feed their families now that their breadwinners have been murdered. May God comfort the children who are waking up in the morning and asking, where is my mother? And the adults have nothing to say to them. They can't tell little children, Your mother was mutilated by a certain man who lives 1.5 kilometers from where we are. That man is walking free right now. And it's possible that tomorrow is coming back to kill some of us. This is dangerous and this is unacceptable. Statements to condemn these violence and murders, it's not enough. The people of Zimbabwe must demand more from the opposition. If they can't do more than a statement condemning these horrific acts, they should shut down the opposition parties. Let everyone accept that we can't do anything about our problem. Let's all die as game in the hands of monstrous idiots and monstrous animals. This is not nice. We are the church and we represent the true church of God. We speak from God's mind. The opposition leaders are passively participating in the murder of Zimbabwean citizens through their apathy. Is it possible that some of the opposition leaders are given money behind closed doors to practice mouth politics and create an image that there is opposition politics in Zimbabwe, but the ruling party must continue to reign? Is it possible? It's a question. Atina vanhu vari kupiwa mari here vachinzi imi tichauraya vanhu vakawanda imi hatimbokubatai imi kana tauraya munongoenda papress statement munotikondema kana election yauya munongoitawo ruzha tichikokupaiwo nekuseri tichechikodyra tese toda kuti vari kunze kwenyika vafunge kuti muno mune opposition kuti zviriko zvakadaro izvozvo. Zimbabwe now needs a liberator. We are going to need to go into a struggle for freedom. We are going to need to fight for the liberation of Zimbabwe from colonization from another black man. It appears in 1980 we were not delivered and liberated from colonialism. They just gave us another colonizer with a black face. We need a liberator. There are people who need to sit down and ask themselves, God has given me certain abilities. Are these abilities not given to me for a certain purpose as this, for such a time as this, to stand up and defend the weaklings that we have in our country? We need a new generation of people who are going to start to establish a new strategy and a new approach to offer an alternative solution to our homegrown problems. Just imagine if Julius Malema was a Zimbabwean. Just ask yourself, what would he have done to address the murder of Blessing Ali? Yes, the environments are different. I'm just saying, just imagine. We need people who are going to practice mature politics, who are not going to use somebody's misfortune to advance a political agenda. People who are using deaths of their members to advance their own personal political agenda. Some of the statements we are hearing from the so-called press statements, you can hear that they are not coming from the heart. You can feel that these people are not affected by what has happened to their members. Some of the problems are caused by giving responsibilities to children who do not have an experience of the struggles of the people.
Yes.
We need adults in these things, not just in terms of age, but in terms of experience. Some of the people you are promoting to senior national positions, you are shooting yourself in the foot. There are adults who are going to say to you, why can I join a children's play? Inotodzeva nights. Something. There are things that adults should be left to do. Proper adults, mature people who can speak from their heart and share the sorrow of their fellow party members, the grief of their party members. People are not looking for an eloquent orator, a motivational speaker. People want a leader. Munofunga kuti chirungu chinokuita leader. Correct. You tell us 17 years.
Yes.
You don't have an experience of what other people have gone through. Right now, more Blessing Ali's children are orphaned. They don't have a mother. They can't have anyone to embrace them when they are sick. When you talk, show that emotion, so that when we suffer, I know that I'm suffering from something that we all feel about. Don't love the cameras like that. It's not good. No farama cameras. There are going to be some of the nails that are going to be the nails of your political coffins. Where are the adults? I want to speak to strangers. I want to speak to people who I know I can't describe very well, but I know they will know that I'm talking to them. There are people that I'm talking to right now. God gave you what you have for such a time as this one. It is selfish for you to leave people strangled to death when you are holding the knife that can cut the noose of the rope. It is not right. Stand up and take up your responsibility. There are people who are given certain abilities by God that are going to be national assets which can be used to help people in times of need. Those people are living luxury lives. They are comfortable. They don't want to come out and stand with the people of Zimbabwe because they themselves are comfortable. That is selfish. You should stand up and be a citizen who is patriotic. Thomas Jefferson, the US president, said, when lawlessness becomes normal in a country, resistance becomes a duty. it is a duty to resist these kinds of ills. Finally, there's something that I'm praying for these days. I'm praying so that God may give Zimbabwean citizens a heart of a man and take away the heart of animals from us. Our people feel nothing when their fellow countrymen are being brutalized. That is a manifestation of a curse. As I talk right now, I'm still praying to God for the animal heart to be replaced with a gentle heart of a compassionate human being, a compassionate Zimbabwean citizen who feels the pain when his neighbor is feeling pain, who feels the grief when the neighbor is aggrieved, who feels the pain and the sorrow when your fellow countryman has been abused. This is what makes Zimbabwe different from South Africa. This is what makes Zimbabwe different from the United States of America. The so-called education has caused a very, very negative effect on our humanity. Our people are extremely selfish and they think it's a sign of civilization.